Hey. Hello. Hello, people. Hello, people. We are live. We are live. Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm clicking few buttons, but I will be there soon. I think I'm ready. Did I click everything? Well, kind of. I think so. I think I clicked... yeah. Yes. I think I clicked everything. Hello, guys. Good afternoon. Good morning. And welcome to another stream of Plane Shift, where we make games. Well, actually we make one game, but this game is so big that it's basically like if we are making many games. It's not just one game, pretty much. So we are working on fixing our old weapons. We have a lot of very old weapons like this one, and I just improved the textures and a bit of the geometry, so they look nicer in game. Yeah, so that is what we did a bit on some of these axes, and I would like to do the same also with other weapons. Like for example, I think that on the dagger side we are very we have very few. We basically have this dagger that is used pretty much for everything. Wait, let me tone down the music, put it as a background. Hello, Hula. And in the background I was also checking. I haven't seen the people going outside in space. I don't know, there is a launch. I'm following a launch. I don't know if I can actually stream it, right? Restream it. I don't think I can.
Roger. All steps are complete.
But it's like 4 minutes before it goes, right? That is the launch. Maybe we can watch it together. I don't know if I can. Like, I think it should be seen from the NASA channel, but... Oh wow, all these numbers, look at this.
3, 2, 1, mark.
Time until nest start? What do you mean? It's 3 minutes and 50, boys. 3 minutes and 50. Let's go. So I was saying, in terms of daggers, we have this one, which is the one that we have open in Blender, right? Which is a very simple.
All personnel turn to recycle section.
Which is very simple dagger. Then we have our new double knife for the Enki, but pretty much we don't have anything else. And then we have a throwing knife. So I was thinking, should we just create a few more variations? And I think also that this dagger does not have multiple meshes, right? Multiple textures. It only has one texture. So it's kind of weird. Because I think we have daggers in the game. I mean, we have a number of them, right? So why we only have one model, I have no idea. And this one also is very simple. So maybe, I don't know, what we could do, we could, I don't know if I can reopen, yeah, exactly, this one. I mean, we had few daggers in this view, no? I mean, they were not super nice, like this one maybe? This one was not bad, for example. This one was not bad as well. I think we need more daggers, right? Why we only have one dagger? It doesn't make any sense. Why? I think we are about to launch here. No? I don't see the counter anymore. Why there is no counter? They aborted or... There is no counter anymore.
Avionics system state. Roger.
Let me refresh it. I don't know if it's cut off at the top.
Hazard.
No, it's not cut off.
LC Starliner systems escape.
It's a Starliner Boeing
Starliner last arm switch to off.
thingy. It's a Starliner Boeing thingy. I still have my precious one somewhere from a time where Silver Dagger had been the more heavy damaging game. Yeah, but we need more daggers, right? I mean, we cannot have one dagger. I have to ask you a very complex question and see if you like it or not, right?
Roger. Arm control, deploy the crew access arm.
But I need this thing to go up before
Starliner,
I.
proceed with ordnance deactivation.
Look at the sea.
Awesome.
Very nice. Very nice sea. There are 15,000 people watching this.
Ordnance deconfigured. All off.
Roger.
LC.
Go ahead, ALC.
Countdown clocks reset. T-minus 4 minutes and hold.
Roger. Flight, verify CST 100 ordnance is safe.
Verified.
So there are 2 astronauts inside of this rocket,
Okay,
right?
Stations recycle systems back to T-minus 4 and holding configuration. Hold time occurred at T-minus 3 minutes 50 seconds. Report status at completion.
3 minutes and 50.
And flight LC.
LC.
CST 100 power to external.
Copy. We'll put it on.
So the problem I have with the weapons, right, is that at the moment we have, let me try maybe and this thing is gonna fly. But the problem I have with the weapons is that today,
Subset Bravo, Atlas LO2, continuing topping.
LC Lux 2.
today our weapons, like for example this dagger, right?
Roger.
Or even this axe, but whatever. Let's take this dagger as an example, right?
Our LH2, continuing topping.
So I think this dagger,
LH1,
Go ahead, Peony 1.
Atlas Pneumatics, pressure stable.
Roger.
this dagger is one mesh, right? And it's called like dagger 01.
E active.
Roger.
And since the Foxtrot sensor.
But then, when you drop it into the game, right, it may be randomized. Meaning the effect, right, and I think we have some examples. I think we have some examples of that. Wait, because I need to launch. Is the okay? It's launched already. We have, for example, dagger 01. This thing flying or no? No, it's not flying yet. Dagger is 300 and 530, right? Dagger is 530. I wanted to see. Item stats ID 530. Yeah, for example, right? So there are at least 4 different occasions, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Where this thing is randomized. Well, actually 2 of them, where this thing is randomized, right? So you will get modifiers, and the modifiers are why there is no countdown? I don't know. And the modifiers are, for example, you know, dark, right, like this, right? Dark dagger of the defender, right? So that you drop it and it becomes okay. It becomes dark dagger of the defender, right? Because he has a special attribute, right? And then the next time it becomes the icy dagger, the icy dark weave dagger of something, of stone, of the warrior, right? Of the warrior. So it's basically the same dagger that is actually dropping in terms of base stats, right? So the base stats of the item are the same, but on top of it, right, we have random modifiers, right? So now the question is, at the moment, the model of the weapon is identical. If it's just a dagger, right? So if it's just the basic item, so this dagger 01, let's say that is the mesh name, right? That is the mesh name. But you may have a dagger, you may have so you may drop, right? You may drop one of these three guys, right? You can drop this, you can drop this, you can drop this. So when you drop it, they look exactly the same, unfortunately, right? They are exactly the same. So they will look identical, but I think it's pretty bad they look identical. The problem is, considering we have a million different modifiers, right? How do we... And these astronauts, bro, they're just staying there and saying, well, let's hope everything works. They're just sent to space. Let's go. I don't know if they are nervous, but I guess they are. So the question is, do we want to change the model, right? Like if I have, let's assume that I have this model and then I have another one which is very similar but not identical, right? So I have another one. I have another one that maybe is green instead of dark. So what do we want to do with that? I cannot color it, but it's fine. So maybe as a green thingy here in the middle, right? So if I have this version and this version, do we want to randomly pick one dagger model for the one that you drop? Or do you want to, because assigning a specific is basically impossible. We have hundreds of possible variations. So I will never have enough, never have enough models, right, to associate to each, right, is impossible. Because there are, of these variations, there are hundreds. But maybe what I can do, so I'm trying to understand how to solve this problem, right? How can I solve this problem? One way would be to randomly assign it. Or another way, which is probably the easiest, is to say, if he has two modifiers, so let's say that for every weapon we have three variations, right? Like for example, we have for the axis, right? The axis, there is this, this, and this. So I could say this one is used if you have 0 modifiers. This one is used if you have at least one modifier. And this one is used if you have at least 2 modifiers. Three model and 3 model, yeah, but still they will not be enough, right? They will not be enough because we have hundreds of combinations, so... Maybe I can do 1 modifier, 2 modifiers, and maybe 3 modifiers, right? So that... So for example, the Falcons, right? The Falcon is another good example. If you drop a Falcon today, right? And that Falcon is, you know, the because our names, I don't know, I'm thinking about it. I think the modifier idea is not bad. Our names are this, right? So are made of our names are made of a prefix, an adjective, the actual name of the object, right? Oops. And a suffix, right? So that is what we have today. So dagger is the name, right? So for example, in this case, right? In this case, I see Darkweave, whatever, this guy, right? In this case, we have the prefix is IC, right? The adjective is Dark Weaver, right? The name of the item is Dagger, and the suffix is of the warrior, right? So it's made of 4 pieces. The more name is long, the more item is modified. Yeah, exactly. So I think this is what I was thinking. I was thinking NASA Boeing crew flight test. It's just a flight test, or they actually fly? And this thing seems that it will probably go, right? Yeah, it's saying launch, so flight test launch. So it's actually a launch. I don't know. It's canceled. Someone is saying cancel.
The operations which are in their schedule for a launch scrub, moving through those methodically.
I don't know. Maybe it's canceled. One goal to the ground launch system launch window passed. Okay, so it's cancel. I think it's probably cancelled. So yeah, so I could do, so for example, I could do, you know, for these 3 guys, right? For these 3 guys, I could do but then it means that I need at least 4 or not. I could do, if there is one modifier, right? If there is, because this is a we call this a modifier, right? This is a modifier, this is a modifier, this is a modifier. So you can have up to 3 modifiers, 1, 2, and 3, right? And it can come in any order. So maybe for a single weapon, you know, you have only the suffix, right? Is okay. So maybe what I can say if, right, the weapon has at least 1 modifier, it goes here, right? If he has 2 modifiers, it goes here, right? If he has 3 modifier, at the moment we don't have a model, but that could be like our best model, right? Our more elaborate version of the weapon. This is probably the easiest way for me to do it. I think the only problem I have is that there are certain modifiers that are actually negative, right? There are not that many, but there are some modifiers that are actually negative. And so in that case, maybe I can take only the Do I have a way to know which ones are the negative one? They say that this thing is cancelled.
Meters. And head back to crew quarters.
I think this thing is cancelled, boys. Pity. I wanted to see a rocket fly, which is always nice. It's always nice to see a rocket fly. Now, the beauty of doing it like this is that you will get automatically, also for the weapons that are already in your inventory, right, a different model, which I think is kind of nice. And in theory, we could expand it with a fourth one, right? So we should have like a base model, which is actually 0, right? Zero modifiers will be this, right? And then in theory, we could have a fourth version, right? That at the moment is not present, but which will be for the 3 modifiers. So if I want to expand it, I think that like this is very easy to do. For me, it's very, very easy to do. Because the only thing that I will have to do when we are loading the basically when we are loading the model, when we are loading the item, and I assume that we are loading the item when we already have the modifiers, okay? So when I'm loading that, I think I'm loading that in Entity Manager create item or something like that. I think there is an Entity Manager and there is a kind of a create item. Why the structure is not? I think it's still loading. I think it's still loading. Yeah, create item, right? Create item. So yeah, I think I can put it here, right? So here I can check if, because item instance is already, item instance knows, right, if he has modifiers. So I think that from item instance I can get the number of modifiers. I think the only problem is the icon, right? Because the icon will change. So we have the mesh and the icon. I don't know if I want to do it inside a get mesh name, which could be a place, but it's a bit. Do we have an overlay? Ah! Really? Oh fuck. There is a mesh here? Oh wow. But it's never used, right? It's never used, but in theory we have a mesh column. Oh wow. We have a mesh column. Yeah, but the mesh column, the problem, guys, is that the mesh column will never work, right? So the mesh column, I mean, if, and also who is going to set all those mesh? Because the mesh cannot be in this table, because this applies to basically every item. So No, it doesn't make any sense. This column doesn't make any sense. It should be removed actually. I think it's just confusing, because this same line, right, like crystal steel, can be used for a dagger or for an axe that have completely different models, right? Hello, Manasgoa. Hi. So I think pretty much, you know, in this function, right? I would say no usable. I think it is really not relevant. It is really not relevant. But what we could do, what I could do this. Now, now the problem is, how do we point, right? How do we point to the next mesh, right? So how does the game know that it needs to select, right? It needs to select this weapon or this weapon. I mean, this mesh or this mesh. How does it know? Because okay, it does the number of modifiers, but then I do not always have a 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3. Sometimes it's changing the model, sometimes it's changing the texture. So it's not that I can, right? It's not that I can do it that way. So I need a table somewhere that is telling me for every weapon what is the sequence, right? So that this is the basic, this is the medium, this is the advanced. So how the hell do we do that? How the hell do we do that? Or we have a data table. I think a data table could be enough, but a data table, I don't know if it's the greatest idea. Because, and we cannot even go by name, because this thing is, for example, in this case, right? The mesh is the same, but the texture is different. And in other case, we will have a different mesh. So we just we don't need just the mesh name, right? We need mesh and texture, mesh and texture, mesh and texture. So I will have to say, so for example, in this case, right, we have 4 values. I will have to say, what is this? That is a normal X, or what? Yeah, normal X. So I will have to say like normal X 01 A, which is the name, right? And then I will have to say like empty texture, right? So I will have to have, I will need to have 1 line for mesh and 1 line for texture, right? And then here in this case is exactly the same, but the texture is another one, right? And the texture is actually, in our case, is a number, right? Because it's pointing to, so it's in the texture table, right? In the texture table, this normal X01B. So, so normal X01B. In our case, it would be like 91, right? So this is the 91 number. So it would be like 91. And then here again, normal X01A, and then the C version 92, right? So if we have this information somewhere, I could say when I have zero zero modifiers, go to this particular mesh and texture. When you have 1, go to this. When you have 2, go to this, and so on. These are substituting the existing ones. They are substituting the existing one, Manasgoa. So it's an upgrade. Is an upgrade of the existing weapon. I think it's just called X, right? So it's just a base X that was like this, and now is upgraded in quality. But it's the same X that you have seen before. So yeah, the problem is that I have to keep this somewhere for every weapon, right? Everything that can be randomized needs to have that. I mean, I could create, you know, a loot modifier. I could create an additional table, but I don't know if it's a good idea. Because we have loot modifiers and loot modifier restraints, like constraints, whatever it is, right? So I don't even know if this one has anything in it. No, it's actually empty. So we could create a loot modifier mesh or loot modifier visual aspect, right? Loot modifier skin, yeah, maybe we can call it. If we go loot modifier skin, like a new table, and then we associate it, and then we have what? We have, because I will need to have what? An ID, well, the ID is fine, but because I need to have the base ID of my item. So there should be a base item ID. In this case, the base item ID will be for example, my dagger, right? Or my axe. So the base item ID will be like 530, which is my dagger. Well, let's do it with the axe because we did the axe. So which is this, right? X, normal X. So the base ID is 10. So I will have a base item ID 10. And then I need 4 variate. Well, I need actually 3 variations, because if he has 0 modifiers, we are not even going to change it. So I think it will be something like mesh 1, texture 1, something like that, right? Mesh 1, texture 1, mesh 2, texture 2, mesh 3, texture 3. So I think this is what it could be. Now in mesh 1, I think we will have the full name, right, of this X. So we will have the reference to this, right? So normal X 1ABC, right? And the same will be here, the same will be here. And here we will have the texture, which is actually those numbers that I put on the slide, right? So I will put here on the picture. So 91, 92. 91, 92. And we don't have a texture 3 at the moment, so this will be empty. So I guess if it's empty, because we don't have, we just default to the last one, right? Yeah, we default to the maximum that we have. So if 3 is empty, we go to 2. Is this a good way to do it or not? I don't know if this is a good way to do it. I mean, to me it's not bad. The only problem is that I will have to create, you know, in a table, all this information for every basic item, right? And it is a kind of it is a bit of the pain, because it means that if I have 3 different daggers, right? Because now, you know what is the problem? The problem is, like, let's say that now we randomize the hook blades, right? The one that we said because the name is in the database. Okay. Now we randomize this, right? Now we randomize this. I will need to have this one as a separate item, right? Separate base stats item. And I think we did it, because actually if we go back in my... If I go back in my Unreal Engine schema, right? We said that we created new base items, right? New base items. New base items. So this will be a 950, right? So if we want to have, yeah, so, okay. So in that case, there will be none, and so it would just be one version. But if we want, we can create more versions. I think it kind of works. I think the logic is okay. I'm thinking if there is a better way or an easier way to do it or a different way to do it. Like, no, I don't think there is. I mean, one of the problems is that if you change the mesh for the base weapon, and it's really another name, you will have to remember to go in this table and update it as well. Otherwise, it will desynchronize, right? So you will have, you know, yeah, but I think it's okay. Should we do it? I mean, I can do it. I think I can do it. But this means adding a completely new table, huh? But it's okay. I mean, we can create a new table. I mean, it's not an issue. We can create a new table. So the table will be loot modifier skin, or what? Can we use it for other things? Like, can we use it for shield? Yeah, in theory we can use it for everything, but for shields I think it's a bit harder. I don't know how to, because we don't randomize today. For armor, yeah. Anyway, I think we can do it this way, because otherwise this problem is not solvable. Otherwise this problem is not solvable. Because there are too many combinations. Now the only thing that annoys me a bit are the negative effects, right? The negative effects. I think we have a list of negative effects, and those ones. We need how do I know that one of those is negative, right? I mean, all these ones are negative, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because checking them by name is so bad. It will be super slow to check them by name. None of the suffixes is negative. In our repair weapon, name, because I need to understand if I have to filter the negative ones or not. That is what I'm trying to understand. Do I have to filter the negative ones? Do I have to filter the negative one? Oh, funny. It's the same. It's the same that I'm passing again. Because when we repair, we can remove scruffy, worn, scuffed, stained, ragged, tattered, and ruined, which basically are, yeah, these ones, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 6 and 7. Yeah, exactly. So we remove this, but we don't remove the other ones, right? The bones, copper, bronze, and tin. So because that is actually okay, but I can compare. I think comparing a modifier. So it's only the adjective, right? It's only the adjective. So actually we need to avoid these ones. Get item modifier 2. Get item modifier 2. So maybe what we can say is that hello, who joined? Hello, Lune Soleil. Hello, thank you for the follow. Welcome. We are working a bit on weapons and old weapons. We want to improve them, and there are two parts of it. One is the texture and the skin, the mesh, but the other is also the logic that we use when we apply the skin to the item, right? So So I don't know if I have item modifiers. Do I have a count or something? No, I don't have a count. Because actually the item modifiers are accessed directly with an array, right? Yeah. But item modifiers is an array, no? Ah, no, it's a randomized overlay. Ah, but we have the modifiers ID. Ah, fantastic. Okay, so that's easy. That's way easy. So I could I could count the modifier. I don't know if I want to put but it's only when we create the item, so I think it's fine. Even if we do the check, you know, this is only on creation, right? This is only when you have to create the item that we go into get mesh name. And I don't even know if we should do it inside of this, or we should do it when we actually create the item. Then we override, you know, we override the mesh name and we override the icon, because the icon, I think the icon is the same problem, right? Get image name, yeah, exactly. Exactly. And this is also the same reasoning, because this one, right, cannot really be used. It's exactly the same reasoning here. I think we should remove those fields, because we have different weapon types. We cannot have an icon. We cannot have an icon for a modifier. Doesn't make any sense. The only thing that annoys me is that if I do it here and I do it again here, I'm basically doing it twice, right? So every time we read the image name and every time we read the mesh name, I have to do, oh, if this and this and this, then this and that, right? So which is very annoying. So it's very annoying, but at the same time, we need to ensure that when we get the image name, no, I think it should be updated. I think it should be updated on creation. Yeah, should be, yeah, exactly. Well, no, it should be updated when you assign a modifier. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So when we let me think about it, but basically when we have these item modifiers, when you have this item modifier, oh, I forgot to change the scene, by the way. When we have these item modifiers, apply item modifiers, add load modifier, apply item modifier. Yeah, I think it should be like inside apply item modifier. So Because this should happen in theory only during during load, right? Yeah, it is in PS item load. So it's happening only once. And we already set the yeah, exactly. I think it should be here actually. Let me see. Update modifiers. Exactly. Exactly. The problem is that apply modifiers is done inside Cache Manager. It's not inside the actual item, so I mean, or we do it here, but if we do it here, because this is happening for every ID, or is happening only once? For each modifier effect, for each stat requirement. I don't know if I should do it here, but here seems to be a good place, right? Here seems to be a good place. We have the base item. The problem is that this is not a PS item, this is a PS item stat. So this is just the generic, right, that sits on the overlay, but we are actually not changing. Does the loot randomizer know who is his father or not? Yeah, this is also all the stuff. I think this is also all the way. We cannot use it as we have different weapon types with the same modifier, right? So it's not really, this piece is not really usable. These are the requirements. This is all done on the overlay, but I don't know if the overlay knows who is his father, right? And this is what it makes me a bit annoyed. Prefixes, suffixes, adjectives, modified by ID. No, it seems that this guy has no idea who is his father. Fuck. This guy has no idea who is his father. It's super annoying. It's super annoying. So basically, we cannot do it in this function. Because this is completely encapsulated and separate from the actual item. So we cannot do it from here. Cannot do it from here. So another way would be apply modifiers, apply modifier. Apply modifier. Apply item modifiers. And apply item modifiers happens in two places. Happens at load and here. Which is the update. That is when we randomize the item. It is in few places, because it's when we randomize the item. Is when we set a specific modifier. Is when, what is this? Is when we copy the item. Right? And here is when we load, or no, is here when we edit with the gem function. So potentially we can do it here, but then we have to remember to do it also on the load, right? So if we do it here. So we create a new function that is, I think we create a new function on PS item that is called update modifiers mesh, or mesh and icon, something like that. Well, the icon is like, it goes together with the mesh in theory. Assuming that we have it. In reality, it's not an update modifier. It's really an update mesh. Update mesh for or based on modifiers, right? Update mesh for modifiers. So this will read the modifiers. Okay, I think I'm starting to get a sense of what I want to do. I think I'm starting to get a sense of what I want to do. Because I think we can do it this way, right? Set the mesh and icon based. No, let's say overrides the mesh and icon for this item based on the modifier, based on its modifiers, right? Yeah, exactly. This function should be called onLoad, and every time we change a modifier, right? Exactly. Exactly. So we have to call it here. but we also have to call it. We also have to call it in the load, right? Which is so. In this case, it's only 2 places. I think it's good. I think it's only 2 places. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. I think it should be done at the end, right? Exactly. So if we do it on the load and we do it on the update, I think we are golden. Now, okay, so we found the right place to do it. This is the right place to do it. Now we need to do it though. Now we need to do it. So basically means so I can read it from the modifiers ID, right? Because we have the modifiers. We have the modifiers ID. I will have to count. So we said that the mesh and icon. So it's based on the number of modifiers of the item, right? So this is what we said, right? The only problem is that I need to count excluding the. Okay, so we will do just a count 0, and then first thing is that if the modifiers are not active. No, what was it? No. What was the thing? There was like an active thingy. Overlay active. Exactly. So if it was no get what? Item modifiers. What? Exactly. So obviously we do it only if he's active, right? If he's not active, we don't do anything, right? So we need to check. We need this, right? We need this. So we say if modifier ID is an array, right? Is a simple array, and is always exactly. So if the prefix is different than 0, then we just count ++, right? So this would be one modifier, and then if the modifier 1 is different than 0, we have to do a bit of reasoning because actually no, the suffix is okay. The problem is the adjective. So that's the issue. Because this we can just count ++ as well, but the problem is the adjective, because in the adjective we have the negative adjectives that we don't want to count as modifiers, right? So so if this is different than 0, the first thing that we should do, we should exclude the negative modifiers, right? And the negative modifiers, are these ones, which unfortunately we don't have in a better format, so that's pretty much what we have, right? How do I comment? Okay. So we exclude all of this. We exclude all of this. So we have to say if modifier ID is different than, right, whatever, and then we go with the thing, these numbers, right, all these numbers, right. So it's 7 of them. Can we do it better? Can we do it in a smarter way? No. Different than this. Well, actually they are all in the same range, which is fantastic. 3, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So we can just check if it's, you know, if modifier is less than 316 and modifier is greater than less than 311, right, 310 and modifier is greater than 316, then is a good one, right? Then is a good one. So then is a good one, and this means that we want to have the new, I don't want to have all those lines. Now I don't know if we're gonna change these ones, but one day we're gonna change them. When we change them, we will forget about this code and this will not work, but I think it's fine. So yeah, okay, so we just check how many of them we have, right? And then based on the number of modifiers, let's say the number of positive modifiers, I'm just thinking if I want to have something special, right? Like, imagine in the future that we have a lot of skins. You know, we have many skins. This table will not be enough anymore, right? Because this table will go on forever, right? So I don't know if this is the best way. Maybe the best way is something like this, right? So it can go on for, yeah, I think it is, right? So it can go on forever. So we don't have the limitation of, so it is like level 1, level 2, level 3, right? And we can have as many as we want. We don't have to put in columns, which sounds a bit stupid actually. So and 3 may be missing, right? And so I'm going to store now. I don't know if I will store it probably in the base item stats. Where I'm gonna store that? I think I'm going to store it in the base item stats, yes. So maybe the table should be called loot modifiers or item should be called item stats skins. Item stats skins instead of loot modifier. Yeah, because we may also use it for something else, right? It doesn't mean that we have. Yeah, I think so. I think it should be item stats skins. And so I can have as many levels as I want, right? I just need to have, now the only annoying thing is that I'm loading a full mesh name, right? For all of them. Yeah, but only the one that have a different. So if I know that I randomize 2 type of access, right? No, I think it's good. I'm trying to understand if it works in all cases, right? But I think yes. Let me think about it a second, okay? Let me think about it a second. Yeah, I'm standing up and walking around the room. So the skin changes according to the level. Yeah, but this level is the number of modifiers, okay? This level is the number of modifiers. I called it level, but at the moment is number of modifiers. So going back to here, right? So the icy Dark Quiver Dagger of the Warrior, right? Has 3 modifiers, 1, 2, and 3, right? Yes, 3 modifiers, and so it will take the skin number 3 at the moment, right? The one that has 2, it will take the skin number 2, and so on. The one that has 1 will take this. The one that has 0 is just the basic weapon skin, right? So there is not the level of the player or the level of whatever. There is the number of modifiers. Now, I think I want to call it level because it may also be, I don't know, I can call it something else, but basically it's the variation, right? I think we can call it variation. Variation 1, 2, and 3, which at the moment is associated, at least in this case, right, to the, right, and in theory we could randomize it, right? In the future we may randomize it because the base is never here. This is used only for variations, right? So there's variation ID, something like that. Number of so variation ID, yeah. Yeah, I think it's good. The only problem is that in certain cases we don't have 4 skins, we only have 3. So like in this case, we only have 3, right? It is this axe, this axe, this axe. And so certain items, like if he has 3 modifiers, it will still take this one, right? This golden one. But yeah. No, I think it's a good plan. I think it's a good plan. So we add a new table. and we call it item stats skins, right? Exactly. And so we need to have the item stats ID, which is basically the base item that we want to modify. This will be an integer, cannot be null, right? Then we will have the variation, which is an int, right? So it's just a progressive, I think it's just a progressive number, right? So it's an incremental number. And it basically determines which one is the variation. Then we have the override mesh. I don't know if I want to call it override, but probably yes. I think we call it override mesh. So it's easier to search in the code, right? Mesh to substitute for this variation, right? Should be not null. Also the variation should be not null. And then we have an override icon, because unfortunately we don't have a way to associate the mesh to the icon automatically, so I need to keep this separate. It's a bit of a mess, but it's what it is. And it is an int. I mean, the override mesh is not an int, the override mesh is a string, right? It's a varchar 100, whatever. And I think the best if is the same as the one that we already have in item stats in terms of length, right? I think it's 100 probably. I think it's probably 100. That one is dead. One second. I'm checking. Desk item stats. So the string mesh is 200. Wow. Oh my god, 200 for him. Okay, seems a bit too much. But fine. And the icon. The icon should actually be a. Ah, fuck. No, we need the mesh, the icon, and the texture. Oh my god. Yeah, we need the mesh, the texture, and the icon. Yeah. 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 And the last two can be numbers, because actually we have the icons listed in the, yeah. So yeah, okay. Yeah, we need the texture and the icon, exactly. So override icon is an int, and then we need override texture, which is also an int. Okay. They should all be not null. Good question. Depends if we have it, because in certain cases we may not have it. In certain cases we may only override the mesh. Yeah, no, they should all be not null. I mean, they should all be null, yeah, because it may be that we don't have, so we don't have to force it, right? Yeah. Okay, so this is our new table. This is our new table, boys. Boys! So this is basically table to manage item stats, skin variations. Okay? Item stats, skin variations. Okay. So we're gonna persist it. Item stats, skin. Let's go another table. Another table in our project. Let's go. Like if we didn't have enough, you know. Okay. So DID, there is nothing unique, right? Well, the uniqueness in theory is these two fields, right? These two fields cannot be duplicated. Right. Okay, so if we do, okay, let's add some data, right, into it. So for example, we said that our X, right, which is item number 10, right? So if I add a new row, and I say variation 1, and I say, so like override mesh in this case is empty, because we are using the same mesh that we have already. Unfortunately, yeah, the icon and the texture are the one that I need to change. And here starts the mess, because if I have to list them all, oh my god. Hey, but there's no other chance. There's no other chance, bro. There is no other chance. Normal X. So 91, 92. That's correct. So we can put it in. So this, the texture would be 91. And then if I duplicate this line at level 2, we have 92. But now the problem is the icon, right? I have to override the icon, because these icons actually I have I think the icons is the most annoying part to find. We have item icons, but how the hell do I find it here? No, my god. I will never find it here. It's a total pain in the ass. Oh my god. We never find it, boys. We never find it. In theory it's a good idea, but in practice it's a mess to... It's a complete mess, because we have to... Oh my god. The only way to do it is to go under textures, right? Search the atlas, because there is no correspondence. Search the atlas and say, like for example, this one, right? This one is the, you see that we have the three normal axes. This one, and this one, right? So we have the three. So that would be to say, so it is 0, I think it's 15, right? Yeah, it's 16 actually. So it's 0 to 15. So this will be 15, for example, 15 15.4. 15.4. Yeah, but it's an impossible search. Well, I can filter, but still is a freaking mess. So 15.4 is this one, right? And this one is the normal X 01A, right? There is the normal X01A. So the number that I have to put is this 600. No, the 600 is the base, right? 600 is the base. Then I have this one, which is 15, 14, 13. 13.4. I think I'm going to go crazy if I have to do it for everything. And it is actually B. And then I have 13, 12, 11. And then I have 11.4. 11.4, which is normal X 01C. Right? But so basically what I will have to do, I will have to put 538 in B. It is a total mess. I mean, it's doable, it's doable, but it's GG. I mean, it will take me so much time, right? And 500 in C. And the mesh is not overridden, at least not in this case. I think it's very powerful. I like it. I think it's very powerful, but the amount of data management, you know, that we have is. Now you remade a new table. All the playing with all the correspondences. Isn't there a search option? Yeah, there is. Now we can filter at the top, but the problem is that these numbers are not really meaning anything. I mean, I don't have a way to I cannot do it automatically, right? It would be nice to populate this table automatically, but that logic is only my brain. That logic is a visual logic. So you say, oh, this one, right? This one corresponds to icon number 2. This one corresponds to icon number 3. And the mesh model is the same, but I don't have a way to do it automatically. That's the problem. But anyway, I think I will do it. I will take time, but I will do it. So let's say that now we have this data, right? Now we have this data. Now we want to load it when the server starts. And I think that we can load it inside item stats, right? So item stats, I think is inside item stats. I don't think it's in PS item. I think it's in item. The only problem of item stats is that it's actually divided in multiple sub-objects. Because we have an item stats weapons, item stats armor, item stats, you know, whatever. So item stats in reality, this may be a problem, huh? Well, we can do it only for weapon stats for now. We have to decide if we want to do it only inside weapon stats or if we want to do it generically. Like, for example, let's imagine that tomorrow we have skin variations for what is a good example? a shield, right? If we have skin variation for a shield, right? And we may still want to randomize, but I think randomizing on a skin is a bit weird. There must be a logic, right? Otherwise you get a shield that is randomized. I don't know, maybe when you drop it. Yeah, but yeah, it could be. Now the only question is, do we create an additional weapon stats, or is this substituting the base stats? Good question. Is in addition. Okay, it's in addition. It's in addition. Yeah, so let's do it. Let's do it directly in item stats, because you see that here we have the sub types pretty much, and yeah, we can do it in item stats. So when we are loading item stats, when we are do we want to do a query? I mean, for each item stats, or do we want to extract everything and then associate it back to item stat? Yeah, I think I prefer to do it the other way. So I hit less the database, right? So this will be a preloader. This will be a preloader inside a cache manager, our friend cache manager. And what do we need? What do we need loaded? Do we need the loot modifiers? No, we don't need the loot modifiers, right? We need only. We need only the item stats to be there. We need only the item stats to be there. So we can do it. I think we can do it just after. I don't think that. I don't think that is a problem, right? And this will be preload item stats skins. Okay? Preload item stats skins. Preload item stats skins. And yep. And okay. Okay. So now inside of this, what we need to do, I mean, not exactly, but I'm just copy pasting because I'm lazy. So we do select from item stats skins, right? Where, no, without any where. So we load them all, right? We load them all. Select start from item stats skins. And okay, the table must be valid. There should be data into it or not. I don't know if the result is valid if the table is empty, but anyway. So now for any new row, right? For any new row, we have to group them now. We have to group them, right? Because I mean, you see how the structure is, right? The structure is like this. So one base item may have multiple variations, right? So how do we store this? We store it in a small structure, right? We store it in a small structure. The structure is variation mesh texture icon, and the map ID is the base item, right? So it's a T map of my struct. So we have a simple struct. Do I need this on the clients? Do I need this on the blueprint side? I don't think so, right? So it can be a very simple. Can be a very simple struct, right? I'm thinking if I need anything more than just a stupid structure. I don't think so. So our struct will be called what? Will be called item stat skin. Item stat skins. And it will be made of the base item stats ID. Well, it's basically, yeah. The item stats ID, which will be an integer, and by default is 0, which anyway is not valid, will be made of the variation, which also by default is 0, which is not valid, will be made of the mesh, the texture, and the icon. Then we decided to call override mesh, which I think is a good thing, so it will be a bit easier to search through the code, right? That is empty by default. And then we will have an override texture and icon, right? Override texture, which by default is 0, and override icon, which by default is 0, right? So this will be our small structure. So keeps the data read from item stats skins table, which keeps the skin variations for an item stats ID. An item stats ID. Right? So, okay, so this is our struct. Now we need inside item stats a T map of inside item stats we just need inside item stats we need an array of this, because we need the variation. They have to, yeah, we need the variation. So we need an array of this thing. Inside where? Inside item stats? Oh fuck it, I'm in cache manager, sorry. Wrong place. We copied into PS item stats, right? Yeah, PS item stats. And I think we copied before I don't know, let's say here. So now inside item stats, inside item stats, we need, I can put it here, I can put it at the bottom, it's pretty much the same. All this stuff is private. All this stuff is private. Yeah, it's fine. We can have it private and then access it as needed. So we will have a T array of this, okay? Of this pointer or of this normal? Nah, this normal. I think of this normal. This normal. Right? Okay. Okay, so this one at the beginning should be empty, right? I think it does it already, but anyway. Should be empty. And then it's not during the load, right? It's during the cache manager. Yeah, exactly. So now that we are here, so we need a get and we need a set, or we need just the ability to access it and then change it. I think we can access it and change it. I think it's probably the easiest, right? So should I make it public and GG? No, public never. Never public. Never public. So we do here. We do get skins, get skin array or something like that. Get skins, get skin variations. I don't know. There is a T array of our right? And this will just return that stuff. No, skins, huh? It is loaded by cache manager preload item stat skins, right? So that we keep a reference to that. Okay. So yeah, it's not constant, so we can read it, right? So I think what we do is, as soon as we read this, we find the stats ID, right? And the stats ID is then I will have to load with right. The stats ID is what? Is my yeah, so I have to do that get int row, where the row is the result of current row. So I have to do result of current row of that thingy. So result of current row dot get int of my item stats ID, right? Of my item stats ID. So this will be, this is my stats ID, right? Now that I have the stats ID, I have to ask a cache manager because he's the only one that knows. And we will get it through that, right? And this will return a PS item stats pointer, right? Which is like my stats, whatever. So now my stats, right? We will call the new function, which is get skins, which will return our T array of item stats, skins, whatever, right? Which is like the current skins. I don't know what to call it. Current skins, which may be empty, but who cares? And then yeah, it should be a pointer, right? So that we don't have to. Yeah, it should be a pointer, I guess. I think it's probably better. So that we don't have to copy paste it million times, huh? I think it's probably a better idea. It's probably a better idea. No, never find it again. Do you want to initialize it to empty at the beginning or no? If I have a pointer to a T array, should I do new? I mean, should I do new or is new object T array? Should I new T array or should I new object T array? Is new object used only for, I don't remember, guys. Unreal new object T array. Should I do new object T array or no? Huh? I don't, huh? Because TRA is doing it for me, I guess. But if I do this, because I don't want a pointer to item, I don't want a pointer to item stat skins. I want a pointer to, right? To my T array, so I don't have to copy it over and 20 times. Every time. I mean, it's not a big deal. It's like an array with 2 elements, but do we have to do new object or no? Why is saying that new object U class is already created? This is not correct. What do you mean new object U class already created the array? Ah, because U class is this array. I think it's doing it automatically, actually. I don't think I have to do anything. Or not. No, I think I have to. New object or T array of skins pointer. No, sorry. No skin. New object or TRI. New object. Ah, it's like this. New object of TRI. I don't know. It doesn't convince me too much, but fine. Doesn't convince me too much, but I think it's correct, right? Because I don't know. I was thinking the new object is only for the U techs. Is TRA a U object? I don't think so. Huh? Okay, fuck it. I don't like it. I don't know. I think it's risky. I don't want to risk it now because I don't have the time to think to this. So we just copied over. GG. We just copied over. It's only done. It's only done once at start of the server anyway. So I think it's no big deal. I mean, it annoys me to do it without set. I mean, another thing that we could do then is maybe, are we removing skins? We are never removing skins. So can we just add and that's it? Yeah. Let's do this. Let's do this. It's a better idea. It's a better idea. It's a better idea. It's a better idea. We just add and that's it. We just add and so we don't have any issue, right? Yeah, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. So we just add and GG. Why? Yeah, exactly. Why I need to? Why? Why I need to? We just do it this way and that's it. Because we never remove, right? If we were removing, yeah, but we're never removing. We're never removing. We're only adding. So I don't need to do this. I just need to add a new skin to that. So I have to do my stats, add skin, and then I just need to create a new PS item stats skin object, right? And pass it over. And if we want, we could even do it simpler. We could even pass here the. We don't need the ID. We need just the variation. What? We need the variation. Just need to, yeah. We just need the variation, the override mesh, which is a string though, and the override icon, and the override texture, right? And then yeah, these are int. And then here I think we can pass this. We can pass variation, override mesh, override icon, and override textures so that this function is just going to add the new skin, and I think that's fine. So we'll not do it this way, we will do it the other way. Okay. And I think yes, this thing should have at least a constructor, right? This thing should have a constructor with... Do I need item stats ID? No. Because I'm inside item stats, right? I don't need that. I don't need that. This is where I think the copilot can help when I'm doing this kind of stuff, which is basically just, you know, passing in a variable. I think the copilot could really just do it himself without me doing these things. But anyway. Did he wrote it himself? Huh? Is the copilot working or what? No. I don't have it enabled, so it's impossible. It's impossible that it actually works. Okay. So, so we can just create a new item skin this way, and here we need the same shit. What? Wait. No. Well, it's okay. Okay. And then we add the skin, right? So this will just, you know, get all the parameters in, load the skin, put it inside this, and load it into item stats or not. Wait, we're not doing that already, huh? Add skin, yeah, exactly, add skin. Okay, so this is basically reading the skin value. So this reads the new skin values, and this is basically adding the skin. Yeah? Add the skin to the item stats. Right? Add the skin to the item stats. Read or reads? I don't know. Okay. At this point, we will have all the skins loaded into item stats. So that's enough, right? I think that's enough. I think that's enough. I kind of hate the declaration at the top. I don't know. Okay. Okay, so here we have the loading, right, from the database of that new information. And it's actually set inside item stats. So now, when we are switching the modifiers. So we said that we are gonna do it where? I already forgot. We said we're gonna do it inside update modifiers. No. We're gonna do it inside what? I forgot, guys. I forgot. We said what? Gonna do it inside what? Fuck. No, I lost my train of thoughts completely. I lost it. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I lost it. Okay, so we are loading the items in database. Yeah, so there was when we were setting the modifier. We said there were two places. There was in the loading and in the update modifier, right? There were two places. But where we were catching those two places... because, yes, we added... Okay, I think I have it again. So we added an update modifier skins, if I remember right. We added an update... We added it to item stats. Yeah. And we added I don't find it anymore. Update modifiers, right? Update modifier. Was not called this way, huh? Fuck. What was the name? Update mesh. I see it. Update mesh for modifiers. Okay. Update mesh for modifier. Here it is. Okay, now. Okay. See it. So count the number of modifiers on the items, right? And here is choose a skin based on modifiers. On number of modifiers. Modifiers number. So so here what we need to do, we need to just read the count, and based on the, so we'll have to search if that particular item, I'm already in PS item, right? I'm already in PS item. So I have my skins, right? I mean PSI. No. I need to get the base stats. Yeah. I need to get the base stats. Here I have my skins. Okay. Here I have my skins. So I need to read. Yeah, I need to read the skin. So actually the get was needed, huh? I need to. Why I don't just access the skin thingy? I mean, because PS items, I cannot do skins, because this is saying is inaccessible. GG, huh? Is inaccessible? Why is inaccessible? Yeah. Okay. Because it's strange because we are the father class, but anyway. TRA of Yeah, so we have to do that, unfortunately, because it's not available, but it's fine. So we get the skins, and now I don't know exactly what we should do here. So we get the skins, and now, I mean, if the count is, basically we need to say if the count is equal to, we start from 0 or what? We start from 0. Yeah, but we have to do it only if count is greater than 1. Eh? So if count, no modifiers, then no override, right? So if the count is 0, we just return and do nothing, right? Yeah. So if the count is equal, if the count is what? If the count is greater, no. If the count is equal, if is equal or less than the my skins, right? Because the problem is that if I don't have a skin available, skins.num, yeah, exactly. If count is less or equal than my skin num, then then it's all good, right? So then I actually pick my thing. If count for whatever reason is greater than the number of skins, then I have to get, then count will become my skin num, right? So we just want to ensure that we are not going over the array size, right? So cap to max skin available, right? So if we don't have it, we don't have it, right? So why this is, assigned value is never used. Yeah, I know. So cap to max skin availables. Now I think here we also need to do another check though, because no modified and no override, no skins, then no override, right? So if the count is 0 or we have no skins, right? Right? If no count, I think it's clearer. I think it's clearer without the negation. It's just, you know, if we have no modifiers or if we have no skins available, then we don't override. Do I want to split it? Yeah, probably I want to split it. I think it's better so that we return there if we. Yeah, I think it's better this way actually. Mistyping, thanks. So let's say if this return, right? So if no skin, no override. We find the skins. Then now here we are in the situation where everything is fine. So we have the proper number of skins and the proper number of count. And so at this point, we just get my skins of count, right? And it is returning my stuff. Now here I have my override icon, override mesh, override texture, override variation. Right? So I have everything I need actually. Actually, I think available skins is better. And this is chosen skin, right? So the available skin, chosen skin. So now I have my skin. This is the one that I selected. So I say, oh, this is the skin I want to use. Right? And now this is the music of the Borderlands 3 ship, right? When you are in the ship, you have this music. I really remember it. Borderlands 3 was a nice game. I liked it. Okay. So now we have our chosen skin. Now, how do we change it? Well, we just need to be sure that we set the mesh name and we set the icon and we set, right? So we just have to do, I think it should be fairly easy because we are already inside a PS, well, we are inside PS item, right? PS item should have, like he has a get mesh name, right? You should also have a set mesh name, hopefully. It doesn't. It doesn't because because when we set it when we load it. So actually there is no set, but now we need it. Because get mesh name is inside a PS item. And is returning this. Or is returning... okay. Yeah, here we are already... yeah. No, we need... wait. Yeah, it's this get mesh. So it's current stats... I don't think we can access current stats though. Current stats will be private 100%. No? No. Current stats. Is it private? No. Private field. But I think I'm in a friendly class, no? Current stats. We need to set the mesh, for example. Set mesh name. Yeah, exactly. Oh my god, set mesh name is const char still? Really? Are we still going const char here? No, why? Is the mesh name is really a const char? No, it is a wait. I think there is a leftover. I think there is a leftover. I think it is a leftover. I think it is a leftover. There is no need. There is no need of that. Also texture name and part name. Why these are all... I think I changed them all. Yeah, exactly. They are all f-string already. So there is no reason. There is no reason why. These are just leftovers from the porting, right? When we ported from the old code to the new code, we just this add common string ID. I don't want to change it now. So for now, let's not touch that. But this is another thing that we should get rid of. I mean, this makes no sense. But anyway, it's working. So But yeah. Okay, so we have a set mesh name actually, and we have a set texture name. So we should do, so now this is an F string, right? So which is much easier. So we'll just have our chosen string, right? Chosen string override mesh, right? And so on, right? And so we have set texture, and this will be override texture. I don't know if we have the icon. Wait a second. Is a string. Okay, it's a string because, yeah, I know. Okay, fine. Okay, I mean, it's a string because it's fine. I don't care. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Override what? Override texture, and this should be override icon, right? I think it's called the image name. Yeah, it's called image name, but in reality it's the icon. Okay, so here we set the 3 value in the current stat of this PS item. Yeah, it's correct. It's correct. Yeah, I think it's good, huh? I think it's good. Now, the only problem is now, right, that this may kind of work. This may work when I'm loading the items into the world. But if I do the change and the item is already on the ground, it will not change until you pick it up and drop it again. But I think that's acceptable, actually. I think that is acceptable. Okay, I think it's time to test it, no? Is it? I think it's time to test it already. Or not? I think it is. Chivalry 2 is free. I think I got it already free, no? Yeah, I have it already. Yeah, sometime I'm not looking at the store for the free. Chivalry 2 Resicide update. I have it already, so. I think it's a kind of a fun game, just for a short time. So it's a game that you like, but you like it for a very short time. By the way, guys, if you're just passing by and you want to leave a follow, that would be very, very nice of you. I know there are many people, you know, just passing by, looking around. If you leave a follow, it would be nice. Okay, we are building meanwhile. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Drum roll! It's compiling, I don't know, it's a bit slow, but as soon as it finishes. So what we want to do, what we want to see, right? What we want to see, we want to see that a certain weapon with 0 modifiers is using the base mesh and the base texture, but if he has modifiers, is changing his mesh and his texture and his icon accordingly, right? Based on this very simple rule at the moment, which is 1 modifier, 2 modifier, 3 modifiers, right? And if there are no skins, there are not enough skins, then it's just using the latest available. So in our case, at the moment in the database, we have only the data for the X, but we can then add the data for the other stuff, right? Okay, we launch it in debug mode just because we want to see what is happening, right? So the first thing we want to see in Cache Manager if we are properly loading the skins, right? So I think I will put a breakpoint here and we will see if this is executed properly and if we are reading all the skins value, right? There is no error in this part of the code. Then I need to start to think about my dinner, because it's 8:42. My dinner tonight will be very, very easy. It's just pasta, pretty much already made, so okay. This seems to be good. He's adding a skin. Okay, let me see what he added. My stats. Let me see just that he added something reasonable. Now finding the skin here. Okay, it's here. Skin 0. Variation 1. Empty. Yeah, perfect. Okay, fantastic. I think it's working. Now, if we have a skin that doesn't exist, right? If this... let me think about it. If this one is returning null, right? Then what do? We give a critical error? Yeah, I think we give a critical error. Yeah. I think we give a critical error if in case okay, let me add this check and then we will run it again, okay? But we will say that stats ID, right, must exist, right? I mean, this is not the case, but if I put random data in, so if my stats is not existing, I think we return false, and so this basically will stop the server because on loading, and we can print out just an error saying could not find item stats ID %D requested in preload item skins, right? And this would be stats ID. Okay, so it is a good change. So let's run it again, so that we are sure that we are not loading garbage data. This has been the philosophy overall on server start, right? So if dividing, let's say, the warnings from the critical errors, but pretty much all the validation is done at startup and all the data in the database must be consistent. If it's not consistent, we don't start the server. We want to fix the data and then start the server. Okay, it built. Let's run it again. And I don't know if it will work immediately, but let's see. Let's see. This part was correct anyway. So there is this part, and then there is this part, right? When we update the modifiers. No, here. When we update the mesh for modifiers, right? Yeah, I think it should work. I think it should work. I think it should work. But there may be, you know, there may be small bugs. So we just ran twice, right? We add a new skin and we add another skin. Yeah, and that's it. Yeah, okay. So we go. We go. Now, I don't know if we are loading items. Because there may be some items on the ground, right? Which that have the... modifiers. Now, let's see our X, which kind of modifiers we want to give. I think we start with 0 modifiers, right? We start with 0 modifiers. And see if the 0 modifiers is actually working, right? Okay, let me see what is going on here. We are inside PS item. And we are trying to load a particular item that is probably part of an NPC. Yeah, is an item that the NPC has in his hands. Okay. I think so. Iron arrow. Okay. So anyway, in this case, let me see. Item active is active. No. Count 0. Return. Okay, perfect. So this didn't do anything for the card. Yeah, exactly. So it's basically skipping it for all the items that do not have any modifiers on. Fantastic. Okay, that works. So now we now go in. We now go in. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. I think I should do it only, I should put the breakpoint only here, because otherwise... Ah, we have one item modifier that is active. Okay. So we have a modifier already. But we should have no available skins, exactly, for that item. We also have another item with modifiers. But we have no available skins. Okay, interesting. Yeah, the reason is that probably in my inventory that we are loading when I'm logging in, I have some items that are actually with modifiers, but they are not access, right? And not being access, it doesn't do anything because we don't have skins defined, right? But now I think it's one of the, yeah, it's like this longsword of Taladarm, for example, right? So these items. So now I think what we're gonna do, let me see if I do this, if it's yeah, actually didn't. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's just spawn an X, a normal X, right? So there is a normal X. There is a normal X now, and if I drop it, right, it looks like a normal X, right? That one. It looks like a normal X. Now, if I change it, and I add a prefix, for example, I add one prefix, but I would like to add a good one. I mean, one that actually is considered, right? Not one that is ignored. Prefix, this one, Quake Steel, okay? 287, and then I save it. Yup, you see that now it's going through this, okay. He's going through that, nice, it's counting available skin. Okay, he actually set the, okay, he did the setting. Now the question is, if I move it, do you think that this will have a new... The icon is wrong? The icon may be wrong, because he actually transformed into... Okay, GG. This is our X, boys. This is our X. So definitely something didn't work properly. Texture, icon, mesh. Did I mess up the... Maybe I inverted the texture name and icon, I don't know. But also the mesh changed. I mean, why the mesh changed? They should have not changed, actually. Okay, let me try to put it back. But if I put it back... it's not going to reset it, huh? No. Because it's not setting the base. Yeah. So making an item that is actually modified, non-modified, that will not work. But it's okay. But I don't understand why the icon is wrong. I mean, we got a completely different icon, actually. We got a completely different icon. Maybe... what? Fuck. No. No, only if it's not empty. Right? Because at the moment override mesh is empty, so only if this is not empty we should set it. If this is not empty, we set the mesh. If this is not empty, if this is not 0, we set, because otherwise everything was going to 0. Right? Yeah, I think that's the problem. But it still is a bit weird, huh? That we got... Okay, let me see. But actually the icon, right, definitely is not 0. And we got a crazy number. Why we got a crazy number? Why we got something that is completely off? Did I invert the texture and icon? I did. I inverted texture and icon, boys. I inverted texture and icon. Okay, now it should be better. Okay. Yeah, there were 2 mistakes. Fine. Not a problem. Not a problem. Guys, do you want to play a free game? Do you want to play a free game? Uh-oh, this was a big mistake. If you want to play a free game, easy. You go to our website, which is planeshift.it. You click on download now. You register the account, and completely for free, you can play for Windows, Linux, and Mac. Huh? Look at that. Look at how I'm giving you a free game. Unbelievable, huh? Unbelievable. Hello, Arderku. Oh my god, I just joined and I get a free game. You see? Instant free game. Let's go. You just joined and you got a free game. Thank you for the follow, by the way. Yes, I'm giving a free game to anyone that follows. Let's go. Easy free game. Do you still know how many people play on the week? Yeah, for sure I know. I'm not watching it constantly, but yeah, sometimes I watch. Sometimes I don't. It's a bit random, my friend. It's a bit random. Okay. Let's test this and see how it goes. I like this functionality that I added. If it works, I think it's very nice because all your weapons will transform into different ones as soon as I put the data in. And I like it. Okay, as soon as I load, the breakpoint will trigger. Exactly. So we have one modifier, and so we go on skin number whatever. Why we do it multiple times? I don't know. Update mesh for modifiers. I don't know why we did it multiple times. Actually, but I don't care too much. Aha! We have our texture. We have our icon, which is actually different. Aha. If I drop it. Aha. Yes, it is. It is different. The problem is that he selected the third one and not the second one. Why? He selected the third skin because this one is it or no? Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. He selected B or C. He selected. Well, we can try to add another modifier. So if I add a new modifier, so let's say that we add a suffix, and we add a suffix of warrior, right? So 343, 343, and I save it, right? You see that this is going through. What I want to check probably here, right? Choose and skin. What happened? Uh-oh, everything fucked up. What happened, boys? Available skin 2. Count to -1. Fuck. Okay, that's why. Yeah, -1. -1. -1. Or we start from -1. But no, it's okay. We can do count -1. So if it's 1, it goes to 0, right? And yeah, I have to do -1. So now we fucked up because we went over the skin available, right? Over the available skins. Yeah. Okay, let's do it again. This is why I was choosing the last skin and not the one in the middle. But it seems to be working okay. -1 array start from 0. Yeah, exactly. I mean, or we start from -1 or we start from 0 and then we do count -1 here. Because it's always, because num is not 0 based, right? While array index is 0 based, so it's the usual thing. It's the usual problem, my friends. What does exhausted all retries means? What is this? Exhausted all retries? What do you mean? Exhausted all retries. Okay, GG. I mean, you cannot do it. Fine. You think it's my sequel? No, in this case, it's not related to the database. It's just a variable. Just a variable. Okay, we try again. We try again. So now the work will be to just populate the database with like all the skins, right? Oh my god, for every single item. Oh no, well, for every weapon. We don't have that many at the end. I think they're like 20 or 30, I don't know, it's a reasonable number anyway. But yeah, searching all the icons and... oh my god. But it is nice, because every weapon that you have that actually is randomized, at the moment has only the basic skin, but now it will not. It will not anymore. So with a little effort, we changed, you know, hundreds of items. Which is absolutely fantastic. I need to start to cook my dinner, boys. My dinner will be very simple. Will be just some pasta. Just some pasta. I think. Yes. But I need to put it here. And yes, I know that you can hear me. I know that you can hear me. Now what I'm thinking is should we apply? No, but I think like this it kind of works already, right? So if is okay, wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second, my friends. What I'm thinking is that oh no, it was on the ground. GG. It was on the ground. No, I didn't load the items. Okay, we can have another X. We can have another X. So this X, what was the number? I don't remember. 347 or something? I don't know. 343 was the suffix. Okay, so if we do 343, right? And we let this guy go. And we, I don't know if I move it. Uh-oh. 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 So it seems that this icon is not correct. The icon of this version, but okay, the version is correct. Is the right item version. But the icon is fucked. Okay, let me do the prefix. The prefix is Fox. Okay, 302. 302. Okay. Yeah, now this one is correct. So it seems that the second icon is wrong. Okay, and this is correct. So actually, actually it works. But I think we have set a wrong icon. I think we have set a wrong icon, which is, yeah, this would be a mess to debug, right? So this icon 583, right? One of these two is wrong. Actually, the one that is wrong is the first one. This one. No, the second one. The second one is wrong. So this 500 is wrong. This 500 is wrong because $11.4 is not 500. $11.4 is 500. Maybe there are 2 times $11.4. No. That's a bit strange, huh? Yeah, the second icon seems not to be correct. I don't know why, but I will find out very soon. Ardescu asked for, sorry, I didn't see the question. What are you using for database? Yeah, MySQL, yeah. We use MySQL. And it's going fine, I would say. It's not, you know. It's not a problem. We have millions of data, so there are certain tables that are like 5-6 million records, and it's working fine. It's kind of incredible, huh? Someone is saying, "Hurrah! No crash today." Fuck. True. Urano crashed today. Yeah, that would have been the third. Okay, so let me see why we got. By the way, that icon is not here in any possible place. You know what may be the mistake? The mistake may be that we have 2 times 500 in this file. not under textures, but under icons. Let me see. No, we only have one. 500 is weapons 11.4. Yeah, exactly. Why? Huh? 500, yeah. There is something messed up. So we have two. No, but this icon is okay. Is the other okay, wait. Is the one that is wrong, not this one. Is the one that is wrong. The 583, whatever. Exactly, 583. Let me see again the 583. 583. Which in theory should be 538. Okay. Fine. I just mistyped it. 538. Okay, so it is working. It is working. It's very nice. I like the system. I like the idea. Now it requires me to put in a lot of data, but it's fine. I can do it at any time. You know, it's not. We can populate it as we go. Because now, right now, we can go back to the problem where we started. Because, you know, at the beginning I was saying, oh, I have this dagger, right? And I cannot change it to anything else because we only have one dagger, right? But now, if we do, for example, right, if we go back to our dagger thingy, right, and we decide to import this guy, or we decide to import this guy, right? Now we can set it, and you will be able to see it. This is very nice. This is very nice. This is very nice. We can have maximum 4 at the moment, 4 different ones, but I think it's okay. So I think this one I would like to import it actually. I would like to import this one and this one and set this one as the maximum number of modifiers. Yeah, and yeah, I think so. Okay, so now the problem is, where the hell was this guy? No, I have no idea. No, it was in this set, right? Because this is, yeah, it was in this set. It's in the market thingy. Okay, we can do it. We can do it, boys. I don't know if we can do it before my dinner, but I think we can do it. But anyway, mission accomplished. What we wanted to do, we actually did it, which is fantastic. Fantastic! See you, Manaskoa. It takes more than 2 to the small number like 30 and 14. What? Okay, you know what? My dinner is pretty much ready, so I think I will go. Should I go and come back? I mean, I can come back for another hour or so, but I don't know. My dinner is kind of ready. I don't know. I can still work on it offline, right? I will work on it offline, right? So, So the next steps are to import more weapons, mainly daggers that we don't have enough, and to populate this table, right? So that's the work we need to do. We can do it tomorrow. If tomorrow, I hope I can have a longer stream, but today I think I was late. So how much did we stream? 3 hours? Yeah, we didn't stream too much. 3 hours, exactly 3 hours. Okay, I think it's enough. I think it's enough, boys. So thank you for watching. I'm going to dinner. I'm not coming back. I'm coming back tomorrow. Tomorrow 4 p.m. Meanwhile, I don't know if you want to participate, but there is an event in game running right now, which for whatever reason is not showing the calendar. I don't know exactly why. But anyway, we have an event in game running now. And if you want, you can just download our game, register and play it. Go in game, ask for the event, and you can join. Also, if you want to leave a follow on Twitch and subscribe on YouTube, it would be nice. And we have a Patreon site, which is patreon.com/planeshift, that you can support us. You can use to support us, okay? So with that, I'm going to dinner. I say bye. Bye. And we'll see you next time tomorrow.